Good afternoon and welcome to a review of Harem and the Labyrinth in Another World. Now, this is the last episode. For all the episodes that we had in this, there were moments that there's like not one episode of Harem Labyrinth and Another World I can't hate. This show is not only a top 5 show of the summer, this show is an S tier show. It belongs to all the S tier shows that's out right now. If we put everything as a whole, this show is so S tier, it's up there with the S tier shows like the season of Made in Abyss, Call in the Night, Vermil and Gold. I could go on and on. There are some S tier shows that this year that Harem and Labyrinth in Another World needs to be up there. Now I get it. People walked away from this show because 1, it's fan service, and 2, it's just, it's a harem anime, I don't want to see it. It's people like them that can't handle a harem anime is full of it. It's full of it. I'm sorry. Now, I want to present something here. Monster Misune. Redo of Healer. The only reason I'm bringing this up most of the time, because this is the GOAT tier show. It's the best. And I hope we get a season 2. Michiro, our beloved Isekai MC, I'm looking at dead in your eyes and say this. Congratulations. You know, Harem Labyrinth of the World, we have to remember something. Michiro, I'm glad he got a second chance in life. Just like the guy from Redo of Healer, I'm so glad that he got a second chance in life. To get to like have a wonderful isekai life. If we go back to the beginning, remember, he was bullied, disowned, and to a point he was about to commit suicide. But in that moment, he got a second chance in life. Now he's in this isekai world and just earning, like, not only got the girl Roxanne, but as the episode progresses, he gets better and better with ease. Sure, it's a wash, rinse, repeat process in the Harem Labyrinth in Another World, but with Sherry added to the mix, it's safe to say that we knew what was going to happen towards the last episode. Which brings me to episode 12, and I'm going to get right to it because there's so many things I want to get off my chest in this episode, because this episode had every bit of like, why? And oh my God. So let's get right to it with this final review of Harem Labyrinth in Another World. Okay, where to start? Well, to start off with, let's talk about Sherry for a bit. You know, Sherry being a dwarf and all that, you know, what's her specialty? What's her weapon? You know, she is strong, by the way. Don't underestimate dwarves. That's like Black Clover. Don't underestimate Charmy. So she got a little weapon. She got a giant-ass club, and the way she was swinging it, she's a badass. Now, you got to love the physics of Roxanne's boobs when she's all like, oh, don't worry. With these right here, they won't mess me up. Okay. And I you know what's funny about harem animes? It's always, here's the thing about harem animes that sometimes people forgetting. It's always the girl who is the flat-chested one, and they get jealous of the girls with the big breasts. It's like 6 girls in the harem, and you got one girl who's flat-chested. The other 5 girls has average breasts or big breasts, and then that one particular girl with the small breasts gets jealous over the other 5. That's what Sherry is going through as the episode progresses. But other than that, so Michiro wants to prove to Sherry that, you know, I can warp, but I can also kick ass in the labyrinth. So we did that. Sure, he tried to impress Sherry, because Sherry, you know, for her, she trying to understand, you know, still questioning Michiro's intelligence and how he fights. You know, I understand. I totally understand. So keeping an eye on the, you know, so when in Labyrinth, when they fought these sheeps, that teamwork that Roxanne and Michiro did was really good. But then she was more concerned looking at Sorry, more concerned looking at Roxanne with that. Showing it. And then you gotta love Roxanne was like, whoosh, 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 just showing everything. Not enough. But still there. So now they come home. Remember, I told you, this is like a wash, rinse, repeat process throughout the entire series of Harem, Labyrinth, Another World. It's always, you wake up, kiss, get ready, go to a labyrinth, finish what you do, come back, have sex. Take a bath, have sex, and then repeat it again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. And that's what that is. Now, the whole dinner thing. Dwarves, they make Sherry makes a good food and all that stuff. But again, harem logic is there every time. The moment he made a bowl, and a bowl of stew, should I give it to Sherry? And so he thought of it, he's like, wait a minute, Roxanne is right there. See, that's the thing about harems. It's always the one girl. Like, the first girl is good, but when it comes to harem, it's always the first girl that gets jealous over the second one, and then the third, and then the fourth, as it builds up. Kind of like Rosaria Vampire. Think back. Mocha's first, and then here come the succubus, and then Kiryu, Mizure, and the witch, Mocha, then the Kurumu, then the witch, and then Mizure. So it's kind of like that, where you get jealous. But who am I wrong? Now, I love how Roxanne being jealous. That's how it is. She's like, with that smile and that cold eyes flare. Like, you better serve me first. I'm the first slave. You better serve me first. So even without in words, in her mind, she's like, you better serve me first. And that's what happened. So he served the first bowl to her. Sherry's all like, huh, what's going on? But that's here and there. Now, the bath scene. This is where I gotta say, wow. You gotta love the animation on this part here. You gotta love the animation. Oh, and by the way, this video may be long as fuck, but bear with me on this. Anyway, the bath scene. I love, not Rox. I like Roxanne. Sherry, when she took off the hairnet and the hairband and just like her long, luscious purple hair, that animation thing, you know what she reminds me of? And I'm kid you not. She reminds me of what's that face? You guys watch How Not to Summon a Demon Lord with Diablo, and that elf, big-breasted elf girl with the blonde hair and green eyes, she reminds me of her. I think because of the long hair, that really got to me. The moment I saw that was the first thing that came to mind. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. And that was that girl. That was her. So I like the whole physics of the whole soapy action they did. That was really nice. And you know what? He's finally happy he got two girls at once. But again, we're not surprised that it was going to be a threesome. Now that Sherry came into the picture late, we're not surprised that it was going to be a threesome. Now the whole threesome began. Well, first off, you got to love Roxanne. Again, first girl gets jealous of the other girl. You got to love it. Kind of like how Mia upset when Pappy got involved, But other than that, you got to love it. He always plays it safe. Mitro always plays it safe. So in that bed scene where he kissed Sherry, Roxanne he played it safe. He's like, oh wait, no, this is just a traditional thing. This is just a rite of passage, He's like, okay. She played it safe. Now, the animation went full knots. I love what y'all did. Y'all made the last episode so fucking good that in this episode right here, I can lie. I couldn't lie. Sorry. I couldn't lie. You made this last episode freaking good to a point where the physics were there of him smashing Roxanne in all different positions. Y'all freaking get that. And I love what y'all did there. Props for that. And then it was Sherry's turn. This was Sherry's first time. I'm not saying, here's the thing. Again, we're talking about Sherry here. A smash or pass. This is where people get to like, I don't know. Sherry's that's tall. I don't know. A smash and pass type vibe. I'm not saying it. But yeah, that's that. And their first time, it was like, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It went from one girl at a time to involving into a threesome. And then the next day, you gotta love Sherry's bed hair mess. It's like a sex after bed hair mess. So her hair is all messed up, but he upgraded. After having a threesome, he now upgraded to sex maniac, because that's kind of a race kind of thing in there. Isekai world for humans. Because you know how like there's demi-humans, beast warriors like that, and then there's dwarves or the blacksmith. What about humans? What their race? So they're like, well, humans are more of the sex maniac kind of vibe thing in their world. So he's now he got his sex maniac leveled, he can finally get his harem going. But this is where I get a little mad. This is where I get mad at. I'm not like angry at this moment, but more like a slap tap in the hand. He got his harem, but it was too fucking quick. That's what pissed me off. He got his harem way too quick. And I mean that like, okay, you got the cat girl, and then the next episode you got Vesta, and then you got the elf girl. And it's like, it's so freaking quick to see how he got his harem. I understand that we're getting an OVA. I get that. But please get a season 2 going. Get a season 2. I want this show to get a season 2 as much as the next one is. I'm pretty sure, like, if interspecies reviewers, the same people that made this show, interspecies reviewers need to get a second season. This show needs to get a second season. And again, I love this. Now, overall, this was a good episode. I'm not taking that away. The drawback to this last episode was it was way too of a fuck fest. And it was a fuck fest. It was a glorious harem fuck fest, and he's happy he got an isekai life. I'm happy for him. I'm not taking that away. But again, the way they show how he got these other 3 into his harem was like, why? Why rush that for the OVA? Like, I don't know why you did that. Now, overall, this was Harem Life in Another World. These last 12 episodes were freaking great. I love it. I love it. Forget that it had a fan service. Forget that it had a fan service thing vibe. I get it. But you can't take away, like, I get the plot may not be as thick as it is. I get it. And his harems rush way too slow and fast. The only drawback I have now here's the thing. I give this is an S tier show. I'm not taking that away. But there were some few minor problems I have with these 12 episodes. One, the fact that he got Sherry late. The fact that he got his harem late was disappointing to me. Every harem anime, when it gets to like 12 episodes, like there's like 12 episodes in a season, 12 or 13 at best. And the harem usually starts growing until like the beginning of the episode towards like episode 5 or 6. And that's when you get multiple girls. In this case, we didn't get Sherry until last week's episode. You see what I'm saying? We got it late. If we would have had it harem, if he would have had his harem right after like 5 or 6, then maybe, just maybe, we would have seen how it all starts with him meeting the cat girl, how he met the big breasted Vesta, how he managed to meet the elf princess. So you know what I mean? It's just that they rushed it so freaking much. They rushed it. Now, I'm not giving it a perfect 10. I'm not saying it's like a 10 show. Even though it's a top 5 show and it's an S tier, if you would ask me where I give this show overall, I think it's close. But I gotta say, probably a 7.5 to an 8. And I'm not saying it because this show is a perfect 10. I'm not saying it's a perfect 10. It should be. And I'm not dropping it. I'm not saying it because it's a D tier show. It's still an S tier show. But I'm looking at it from what it does and what it has. And yeah, I got all the parts, but still not. It's like, it's supposed to be a harem thing. You didn't get your harem to the last episode. Ideally, if you would have had your harem, if he had his harem way before then, we would have been like talking about his life and all his careers and how he built up his harem to the point. But they rushed at the end until like, wow, really? It's like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. That's, those kind of things. Now, Mitro, my boy, my Isekai MCs. Of all the favorite Isekai MCs, you're better than Kirito. And I'm going to tell you, and there's more. I got to clap for this MC. He got a second chance. And look where he's at now. His harem is fucking awesome. I mean, of all the MCs who gets another second chance in life, this guy takes the cake. I mean, now for me from Rise of the Shield Hero, Kiryu from Redo of Healer, even though it's not an Isekai, but still, this at least Kiryu is already doing things before he did. And who else? I'm trying to think of my head right now. Oh, the guy from In Another World with my Smartphone. Look at his harem. He got a second chance, and he already got a harem. So I love this guy just treating these girls like not a piece of meat, but treating them really, really well. Now the big question is this: where do I put who's my favorite girl in this show? I'm not gonna say Roxanne. Jaw drop. I'm not gonna say Roxanne. Like, Roxanne's attractive, I get that. But again, where I come from in terms of harems, I just don't look at a girl and say, a first girl in the harem and say, okay, that's best girl. I can't do that. Kind of like High School DxD. I can't look at Reyes and say, oh, Reyes is best girl. That's my best girl right there, number one. I can't look at her because she's the first girl. I have to wait and see other girls make their appearances, and then I'll be like, that. Just like my best girl in the High School DxD is Akino. That's, you see what I mean? It's like that. So when I look at the cast that he had at the end, and I ask myself, who's best girl out of them in order? In my eyes, Vesta's first. The tall girl with the big breasts, she's first. Roxanne is second, and the cat girl, she's third. That's my top three in the Harem Labyrinth of Another World. But Mitro, I give you props for everything you've done over the course of this episode. You learned how to skills, you learned how to develop, how to do everything to make your life better. And now that you got a second chance, I'm very proud of you. I'm super proud of you for doing this. So, it's sad to see the show go, this S-tier show go. It's sad to see this go, I get it. But hopefully we'll get a second season, because again, we get an OVA, that's good, but we need another season. And maybe, just for fun, put Harem Lab in Another World fused with interspecies reviewers. I mean, they're both the same in terms of making out with interspecies. Let's just give it that. So, again, it's sad to see this go, and fall's coming. So if there's any fall shows that you guys want me to talk about, let me know. Because I think there's one show in the fall kind of looking forward to. I don't know, maybe, but I'll see where it goes. So again, thank you for watching my last review of Harem Labyrinth in Another World. And hopefully, when y'all read the light novel series as well, I'm pretty sure everyone's doing it, it's me. Hopefully we get a season 2. Thank you.